Right now, in stadiums across the US, Mexico, and Canada, football is saying goodbye. This isn't just another World Cup. It's the last time we will ever see some of the greatest players in history wearing their national jersey. Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, Luka Modric, Manuel Neuer. Names that have defined 2 decades of football, and after this summer, several of them are gone forever. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly who's playing their final World Cup, the records on the line, and why this tournament means more than any before it. Stick around, because the last name on this list might surprise you. Before we get into individual stories, let's talk numbers, because they tell you just how rare this moment actually is. Only 4 men in the entire history of football have ever reached 200 international caps for their country. 3 of them are playing at this exact World Cup: Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, and Luka Modric. Ronaldo, Messi, Modric, and Mexico's Guillermo Ochoa are also the only players ever to appear at 6 separate World Cups, 6 tournaments. That's careers stretching back to the mid-2000s, still going, right now in 2026. To put that in perspective, when Modric played his first World Cup in 2006, the iPhone didn't exist yet. That's how long these careers have lasted. This generation overlapped almost entirely. They've shared the pitch, fought for the same trophies, and pushed each other to be better for nearly 20 years. And for most of them, this tournament is where it all ends. Let's start with the only player on this list who has said it outright in his own words. Cristiano Ronaldo, age 41, told CNN back in November 2025 that this will, in his words, definitely be his last World Cup. His reasoning was simple: I will be 41 years old. He wasn't being modest. He was being honest about the limits of even his body. Now think about what that means for his legacy. Ronaldo has played in 6 World Cups, more than any other man. He has scored a goal at 6 separate World Cups, a record nobody else holds, not even Messi. He has 230 international caps for Portugal, more than any footballer alive today. But there's one thing missing from his trophy case: a World Cup title. In 6 tournaments, he's never lifted the trophy, not once. This summer, Portugal drew 0-0 with Colombia, keeping their campaign alive heading into the knockout rounds. If Ronaldo somehow leads Portugal to the title this year, at 41 years old, he would become the oldest player to ever lift the World Cup trophy in its history. This is his last realistic chance to complete the one part of his career that's still unfinished, and everyone, including Ronaldo himself, knows it. Then there's the man many call the greatest of all time, Lionel Messi. Unlike Ronaldo, Messi has never formally confirmed he's retiring from international football. There's no CNN interview, no definitive quote, but the signs are everywhere if you know where to look. Back in September 2025, after Argentina's World Cup qualifying win over Venezuela, Messi called it his last competitive match on home soil in Buenos Aires. He described it as emotional, knowing it was the final time he'd play in front of those fans at the Monumental Stadium. He's 38 years old right now. The next World Cup is in 2030, when he'd be 43. Realistically, there's no scenario where he comes back for another one. Here's what makes this World Cup different for Messi, though. He's not just chasing nostalgia. Argentina just beat Jordan 3-1, keeping alive a genuine shot at back-to-back World Cup titles, something no nation has managed since Brazil did it more than 60 years ago, back in 1962. Messi already holds the all-time record for most World Cup appearances by any player, ever. He's also closing in on the all-time World Cup goal-scoring record, needing just a handful more goals to catch Germany's Miroslav Klose. Now here's a name that deserves way more attention than he usually gets: Luka Modric. At 40 years old, Modric just became the 4th player in the entire history of football to reach 200 international caps. He hit that milestone during Croatia's win over Panama, right here at this tournament. He's the only Croatian to ever join that exclusive 200-cap club. The only other names on that list are Ronaldo, Messi, and a player from Kuwait named Bader Al-Mutawa, who quietly has more caps than all of them. Croatia just beat Ghana 2-1 to keep their campaign alive. And whatever happens from here, his teammates have already started celebrating him like the legend he is. After his milestone match, the entire Croatia squad wore custom shirts reading "Infinite Legacy" in his honor and took a lap around the stadium. This is Modric's 5th World Cup. He led Croatia to the final back in 2018, winning the Golden Ball as the tournament's best player along the way. At 40, with a body that's already survived a serious facial fracture earlier this year, just to be here. This is almost certainly the last time we see him on this stage. While Ronaldo, Messi and Modric get most of the headlines, 2 veteran goalkeepers are quietly writing their own farewell stories. Manuel Neuer, considered by many the greatest goalkeeper of his generation, had already retired from international football after Germany hosted Euro 2024. But when injuries hit Germany's other options, manager Julian Nagelsmann made the bold call to bring Neuer out of retirement at age 40 for one final World Cup. Then there's Mexico's Guillermo Ochoa. At 40 years old, he almost didn't make this tournament at all. He'd barely played for Mexico since 2024. But when the first-choice goalkeeper suffered an Achilles injury just months before the World Cup, the door opened and Ochoa walked through it. These aren't the only farewells happening this summer. Belgium's Kevin De Bruyne is widely considered the finest midfielder of his generation, yet he's never won a single major international trophy. At 35, with Belgium's golden generation in its final act, this is almost certainly his last shot at changing that. South Korea's Son Heung-min, at 34, is likely playing his final World Cup after over a decade of carrying his nation's hopes on the international stage. France's Antoine Griezmann, at 35, faces real uncertainty about whether he continues beyond this tournament. And even players who've already retired from international football are part of this story. Germany's Thomas Müller stepped away from the national team, but his generation's World Cup story closes here regardless, simply because so many of his peers are leaving at the same time. Here's what makes this World Cup genuinely different from every other last dance story football has told before. This isn't speculation about 1 or 2 aging stars. It's an entire generation walking off the international stage together at the same tournament. Players who have shared the pitch for nearly 20 years, who pushed each other to be better, who defined what it means to be elite in this sport, almost all exiting at once. Think about it this way. The next time the World Cup kicks off, in 2030, hosted across Spain, Portugal and Morocco, with Argentina, Paraguay and Uruguay also hosting matches to mark the tournament's 100th anniversary, most of these names simply won't be there. We have never seen this many legends exit at the same time before, and we may never see it again. So as you watch the rest of this tournament, remember this: every match these players step onto the pitch for might be the very last time you ever see them wear their country's badge.